Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's select language. Let us select our language. This is a Game Boy Advance game. Welcome, folks, to Let's Play. Oh, you can see it on the screen by the Game Factory and Nico Entertainment. Postman Pat and the Greendale Rocket. You have never seen such fantastic excitement on my face as the ability to post letters is put in my hands. My portable hands, because this was on a portable device. Without further ado, let us press start! There is a story! Would you believe a Postman Pat game has a story? I would. There are also options. We can select the language. We can have the music on. Or we can look at the credits. We'll look at the credits at the end! This is a platforming game designed for children. And I'm going to be playing it because it's Postman Pat. I don't need any other reason than that. I grew up with Postman Pat. Many of you probably grew up with it. Let's see how far his games have come. Story. The old Greendale train station is in a bad state. A tremendously terrible state. I mean, it's awful. And the Greendale rocket does not seem to be working. Perhaps because you left it in a garage for years and never used it. The inhabitants of Greendale decide to repair the station and its train. All 7 of them. And Pat is ready to help everyone, because he's got nothing better to do. He's not deliver letters or anything. Oh no. Level 1A. Find Mrs. Goggins! We shall! This game has extremely in-depth controls. That is the jump. You move right. You move left. You can look down and up. But we don't need to do that. We're Postman Pat! Let's go walk! Graphics are actually pretty good for a Game Boy Advance game, I have to say. And the music's pretty pleasant. And Postman Pat has a big nose. And that's a levitating parcel. I deal with these things all the time. I go collect posts from a sorting station, and there is my levitating parcels and letters. When you're a postman, you need to deal with all sorts of dangerous things. Like jumping. Look at his walk. It's like he actually doesn't care about anything. I'm just going to walk left, Mrs. Goggins. I don't care, because I'm a postman. And he just jumps on walls and houses. It takes no fall damage. You'd think at this point he'd actually be delivering letters. Nope. Apparently all these things have just fallen out of his bag. His absolutely tiny bag that he is carrying. Oh no! It is a pool! And it is in the middle of the road! That's alright. Somebody was kind enough to leave some inflatables there for us to jump on. That was a taxing puzzle that no human being could ever possibly have beaten. Ever. Let's go! I want to collect everything that I possibly can. Why? Because I actually have to deliver all this stuff later. Why did I even agree to help everyone with this Greendale rocket floating platforms. Greendale's full of those. Did you never see the episode where Postman Pat went on levitating platforms to collect flying parcels? I did. It was the best episode you've ever seen. As you can imagine, this game is not actually that hard. Ooh, that's a checkpoint. Because when Postman Pat dies, his soul is contained inside this letterbox and creates a new body from the flesh that is within the parcels. And then he continues to deliver post. Clearly, we cannot get past this extremely taxing puzzle. That is why we have now possessed Jess the cat. What can Jess do that Pat cannot? Well, he can climb things. Pat is incapable of climbing things. And Pat can also watch Jess collect parcels. Not entirely sure how he manages to do that. And by the whistle of the demonic, Pat enters his own body once again. Can't climb this? No. That's going to require a jumping puzzle, where we are blatantly led in the direction we need to be. How do people get to work in Greendale? Ah, it seems like I'm late. Did you use the button on top of that house? Oh, no wonder I was late. I had to navigate through the pit of lava and past the giant bulls. If only I'd have known about that button that I had to press on top of... Oh, there's Mrs. Goggins. Mrs. Goggins, unfortunately, is going to tell Postman Pat that due to government cuts, he's going to lose his job. I'm kidding. Postman Pat is never going to lose his job. He will be a postman forever. Well done! That is our password for everybody who wants to cheat with their own copies of the Greendale rocket and go straight to the next level. Sort the objects to find 6 parcels. We shall! That is clearly a parcel. Oh, that's wrong. I'm really bad at this. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Controls there are a bit iffy. That's right. So, for some reason... Oops. Mrs. Goggins wants us to sort all of this stuff out. Surely this is her job, not Pat's. Well, I suppose Pat agreed to help everyone. So... that's what you get, Pat, if you agree to help absolutely everyone with all of their problems. They won't do anything themselves in Greendale if you fix everything. It's okay, though. We win! And we got a stamp. Really, Mrs. Goggins? A stamp? I'm a postman! I don't want a stamp! There's the password for level 3, by the way. Oh god! We're driving! Ah! Let's go! We wasted vital seconds there! Oh dear word! The streets of Greendale are a nightmare! How on earth is anyone going to get anywhere with all these cones everywhere? Oops. This is when I fail, isn't it? I can't fail this, can I, surely? I bet I can. Oops. Sorry! Didn't mean to do that. Oh, that was close! That was actually quite close. Hello, Pat. You seem to have destroyed several of those cones. It's alright. I'm a postman. And that's the Greendale rocket. It has what seems to be a passenger capacity of about 3. You have to wonder why they stopped using this in favour of, say, an actual train. It's alright though, we need to find Charlie Pringle, the long-lost ancestor of the Pringle dynasty. And we do this by climbing trees. This actually reminds me of an episode of Postman Pat that I played in my... Played? I didn't play them, I watched. It was the one with the toy soldiers. That was when I was very young, of course. But... people seem to lose everything in Greendale. And Postman Pat was always the one trying to find everything. I mean, heaven forbid he actually had other things to do. Like his job. I wonder if you can die in this game. Oh, you probably don't die, you merely have to try again, no doubt. Is there a parcel up there? No, I don't think there is. I think ones in the foreground you can't jump on. How did all of the parcels get up here? What was Postman Pat doing? Did he get drunk last night and throw all of his mail around the entire countryside? Ah, good checkpoint. I was getting worried there. I might have lost... Who left this bale of hay? Like, who leaves bales of hay in the middle of the road? It's just gonna get stolen. And then you'll lose your hay. The mechanics of platformers, they don't make much logistical sense. Although I suppose with it being a platformer, that kind of is presumed. Oh! Checkpoint. Bet you guys forgot I was actually playing a game. Hey Jess! What are we doing with you? Probably going over here and climbing this pole, aren't we? Yep. Yep, I thought so. How old is Jess? I mean, Postman Pat and Jess haven't actually aged in all of these years. You do have to wonder, are they stuck in some sort of time vortex? Oh. I'll go get that. Ah, Jess has to push a button that lowers a log. Greendale has some really messed up transportation systems. Hey Jess, I'm gonna leave you here. Good luck getting home. I'm not feeding you when you get home, by the way. It's very picturesque, though. I imagine property prices in Greendale are quite high. Maybe that's why they're stuck in a time vortex. Otherwise, Postman Pat wouldn't be able to afford his house. Being serious here, though, these things aren't really considered in a children's show. If they were, Postman Pat would be a much more depressing affair. I don't know how exactly he's helping people by doing this. Maybe this is his actual job, and then the little mini-games are him actually trying to help people. And I don't think this game is very long either. Oh, more parcels over there. Everything has little white stylized borders. The controls are very tight. I have to give them that. The controls are really good. Really responsive. Low floaty control rubbish. And Postman... Ah, I bet Jess is needed here again. How am I going to get those? Huh? How am I going to get all this stuff up there? How am I going to get to that platform? Huh? Where's Jess? Probably over here. Or maybe not. Oh dear, you're... Okay, we're going to jump over trees to get there. Forget you, Jess. I don't need you here. Oh no. What's that done? I'll use my telescopic postman vision to see. Ah, it moved a log. A single log. I might as well jump back the way I came. Guarantees I won't die horribly, at least. There we go. Some letters. Oh, that one's moving a bit fast. Young child might have difficulty with that one. It's alright, I've nearly collected all of the stamps. I have in fact collected all of the stamps. And there's Mr. Pringle! But we shall leave it here, folks. For I think you guys have had enough excitement for one day. When we come back, Postman Pat's miniature van will continue crashing into the sea and continue. And we'll continue the game. I'll catch you later. See you then. I have the Postman Pat theme stuck in my head now. That's never going to go away, is it?